Okay, hello everyone. The title of my unit is Nonfiction with a Purpose. This unit is geared to 7th grade English Language Arts and lasts approximately 10 days. So, I put together a little Prezi so that we didn't have to stare at a bunch of words. So you may be wondering what goes into this unit. So, this unit covers biographies, autobiographies, and personal narratives, and these are all covered in this nonfiction unit. Since it's extremely difficult for all students to stay on the same page while reading and comprehending texts, it is essential for group work to be focused on in this unit. So when we're trying to distinguish the differences between autobiography, biography, and personal narrative, it is very important to stay collaborated, is what we see here. Okay, so this way students can work together to stay on pace with one another. And so then we go and talk about some of the overarching themes in this unit. And these are differentiating between the three genres, which is autobiography, biography, and personal narrative. Making parallels between chronological events in the person's life or main character's life, causes and effects of experiences and events which impact the story, as well as determining the author's purpose. So we are also going to have some fun with this, but we'll come back to that. So this unit also does prompt inquiry-based learning. Through this, the questions take a role from the beginning of the unit, which gradually creates a strong understanding of each genre of nonfiction, instead of simply memorizing facts of the similarities and differences between autobiographies, biographies, and personal narratives. This way, students get to look at all of these organizers and fill them out throughout the lesson so that they are all engaged and working together on hands-on activities, which prompts them to seek information about the content covered. Okay, so when we go back to this, having some fun with the unit, students involved in this unit will create a scrapbook page of themselves and discuss their life story presented on the scrapbook page with the class. They will discuss at the end of the end of the unit, which will be discussed later. By using this, there's differentiation shown through perspectives on one topic, which will then motivate students to answer why readers and listeners view a topic differently. Okay, so now we're going to exit the Prezi, and I'm going to show you my lesson plan and unit plans all together. Okay. So when we're talking about assessment, students will be assessed throughout this unit using completing hands-on concept maps that I talked about earlier that will help them view and understand the differences between genres of nonfiction, along with completion of concept maps, foldables, and reading guides. Students will also be assessed through their effort to engage with class discussions about the content. Students will routinely hand in exit tickets, which will allow for students to summarize an aspect they believe was most important in the lesson given that day. And most importantly, we go down to the bottom of this unit plan. And we see that the big assessment is at the end, where students will present their personal narratives through a speech and visual aid in the class, and students should present claims in a coherent manner with descriptions, facts, and details. So this goes back to the scrapbook page that they created the first day. That will be their visual aid, and they will end up writing a paper all throughout up here. There's 3 days of lessons where they are creating their paper, basically telling their story about the scrapbook page that they created. While they are doing that, while they are presenting their information, their peers will be given an evaluation sheet over what they learned from others and elements of an autobiography and personal narrative that stood out to them. And students will then hand in all of their work to me, and by the end of this, we will create a classroom book full of scrapbooks, the scrapbook pages, and the papers. So students will be able to look back on that and see that nonfiction is relevant to real life. So when I come back up here and I look at the difficulties that I had while creating this unit, some of my difficulties included making sure that everybody was able to complete the lesson, especially with comfort levels, because I focused a lot on group work. But I think that group work definitely will help students differentiate and find the similarities between these different genres, as well as complete all the assignments, since a lot of the grades will be completion. And the most enjoyable part of this unit plan was definitely connecting the scrapbook page that I created up here and then connecting it all the way to day 10. I think that shows that this was all connected, and they didn't do that for no reason, basically. So that is basically why I love this, and it is definitely something that I would use if I were to teach 7th grade, and I think that even if I were to choose high school, I would obviously use this as well, because students have trouble. I think we still have trouble differentiating between the three. So this is just kind of a fun way that students can work together and create a class book and remember this forever. All right, thanks for listening.